This is Real Estate from an Attorney's Perspective. I'm Bill Mason, and today we're discussing midterm rentals. Okay, so midterm rentals, sometimes also referred to as corporate housing, are fully furnished properties, typically with utilities included for remote workers, relocating families, traveling nurses, any type of traveling professional actually, and anyone else who needs temporary housing. The stay is typically 3 to 9 months, and where tenants used to have to sign a long-term lease, set up utilities, buy or rent furniture, midterm rentals offers tenants a turnkey solution with everything already done for them. This rental arrangement provides tenants with the flexibility to easily adapt to traditional phases in their life without the commitment of a long-term lease or the expense of furnishing a place. Platforms like Corporate Housing by Owner, VRBO, AirBnB, Furnished Finder, and others have increased the popularity and access to these types of rentals over the years. Sandwiched between traditional long-term rentals and short-term rentals, midterm rentals offer landlords higher revenue potential than a traditional rental without the high turnover of a short-term rental. Generally, midterm rentals have a lower nightly rate than short-term rentals, but a higher monthly rate than a long-term rental. Some Airbnb hosts take a hybrid approach, shifting their strategies to midterm rentals during their off-season when they experience dips in short-term rental occupancy rates. However, before you switch your long-term rental to a midterm rental, consider the following. So you want to research the demand for this type of arrangement in your area. I know one of the big driving factors for this is hospitals. A lot of people rent to nurses, and I've actually done that myself with a condo that I have, and it worked out real well. Another thing I did myself, just to give you some examples, is I had a house by Stony Brook University, and I had rented to somebody over there one time on a midterm rental, and it worked out real well, okay? So like universities, major drawers where people would stay for a short period of time, these are all important things to consider before you just switch, because if you don't have any type of drawer for this, you don't want to be stuck with nothing. Then the second thing you have to be prepared for is that there's going to be increased efforts to manage these properties. So like you're going to have to deal with, marketing the property and preparing the property for new tenants more frequently than you would with a long-term rental, okay? That's something that you have to take into consideration, that there'll be a little bit more work for the higher amount of revenue. And then when you calculate the potential return from the higher rent you can charge, you have to understand there will be vacancies between the tenants and the increased marketing expenses to get new tenants, and you're going to have to then turn the properties, prepare them each time. So there'll be, some vacancy issues, there'll be some, more management issues, and there'll be possibly some expenses in re-preparing the property each time a tenant moves out. So you have to take those into consideration when you do your numbers to see if this is the kind of thing that would work better for you than just doing your traditional long-term rental. So if you wanted to speak further on this, I'd be happy to speak to anyone. I'm easy to contact at 516-739-3090. My name's Bill Mason from Mason & Mason. This is Real Estate from an Attorney's Perspective. I appreciate you watching. Thank you.